interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. A good pickup there on first as a screen pass gets him 8. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Working out of the gun. Love. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 35. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes this 35-0 now. Kick is away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they gave up the pick-6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Another try after the first down sack. Love. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 20. And he'll get this back down at the 20-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long. Throwing is Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Watkins. Touchdown. Here's Watkins with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Elliott good on the extra point, and it is 42-0. Return this from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. The Love's throw here taken in by Isabella. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A big play that time on the catch and run. First down, going to the air with Love. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Again, it's Love. His throw incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
On 3rd down, Love. This one is down. Loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. On now is the Packers punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. He'll field this at the 5. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Mike 22, Mike 22. Check Mike, check Mike. Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike. Hey, man. Watch the move.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And this is caught by Watkins. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Chris Watkins, 92 yards. And the Eagles get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. So from back deep in their home territory all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also show that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It's a little bit of a video game call. It worked. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a very solid return out across the 45-yard line before going out of bounds.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
First down, Love to pass. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
To throw again on 2nd down. Love. A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a 1st down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it here. And now here's another interception. Picked off at about the 31. And he's able to bring it a 5-yard shot at midfield to the 45-yard line. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver,
got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Philadelphia. his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And they'll be backed up a bit to start as he's out of bounds at the 16. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Lacey's got the first and a little extra. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
There's a nice pickup right there. And after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Eagles. Well, this jet sweep is so popular now in football, but Charles, here's the downside, a turnover.
Yeah, because you want so badly to get the ball in the hands of your receivers, let him try and create something. I think that when he took the handoff, he was thinking something big. Instead, he didn't feel the pressure, and the ball came free.
Now it's Nwangu. And he's taken down inside the 30. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On the run is Nwangu. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They'll go right back to Nwangu. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. The Eagles on third down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Wilson. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. Touchdown, Eagles! Chris Watkins. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Eagles look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here this fourth quarter. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard, but that is not the case as we play on here this fourth quarter. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Going to give this time to the tailback. Dances by at the... Oh, and now some space to operate. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A big play there. 82 yards. And the Packers are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by McCann, up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Eagles touchdown. Kene Nwangwu, his second touchdown of the night. And the Eagles are pouring it on. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. Saying, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Set down to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but they certainly have not, and they trail big. After this, it figures to be a quiet trip home. Jordan Love ready on first down here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On second down, Poe. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Desperation time here. Love on 4th down. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And his throw is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Love. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 24. Well, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
22, he's coming. 22's coming. Tackle. Check safety.
They'll keep it on the ground. Richards. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. With that last pass, he just went ahead of Warren Moon on the all-time NFL career passing yards list.
And that's Hall of Famer Warren Moon. A significant accomplishment to be able to pass that number. Somewhere Warren is saying, but what if they added my Canada yardage? Right? My time in the Canadian Football League, that's 21,000 more yards that could be added to Warren's total.
In the NFL, he had 49,325, and now you're looking at a man that is very close to 50,000. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
He's not going to get me. Tighten up.
They'll keep it on the ground. Richards. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll look to run with Nwangu. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. And, boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Eagles, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they go down to defeat for just the 2nd time in 11 games so far. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.